Hello and welcome to my brand new very hard campaign. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm on the path to trying to find the hardest campaign in Rome Total War. So I started with the Spanish campaign, figuring that that would be the hardest campaign because of the horrible economy and the weak, weird, non-diverse units. But after 14 parts of the Spanish campaign, we've made a lot of progress. I won't spoil it for those of you who haven't gotten that far yet. But I'm not convinced that Spain is the hardest campaign anymore. It can't be. With the other options available, there's just no way. So there's been a thriving debate in the comments, all of my videos on which is the hardest campaign, because I've been talking for a while about starting up a second very hard campaign. People say Numidia, people say Dacia, people say Parthia even, but I think it has to be Dacia. And I will kind of explain my reasons as I get through the campaign. But today we're starting up the Dacian campaign. Very hard, very hard. We're going to be running this campaign in conjunction with the Spanish campaign. So instead of doing 2 videos a week with the Spanish campaign, we're going to do 1 Spanish video and 1 Dacian video per week. Alright, let's get into it. I'm going to skip the faction trailer because it's buggy for some reason when I'm recording on OBS. So you're not going to get that, but you can look it up if you want to see it. But let's load up the starting position and go over why this is such a brutal campaign. So it is the summer of 270 BC, and we are the Dacians, and look how horrible this starting position is. If you've never played as Dacia, I would say this has to be the hardest starting position, because at least as the Numidians, you have access to some, easy targets. You can just take Carthage, you can maybe begin an invasion into Spain, and you at least have your back against a wall. There's no one who can attack you from the south or the west. Not so as Dacia. We have Thrace to our east. To our south, we have Macedonia and the Greek city-states. To our west, we have the Roman faction, specifically the Bruttii. They have a chance of pushing through this region. We have the Germanians up here. We have the Scythians up here. And we start off with the worst economy of all of them, the worst number of units of all of them. It's just horrible. So let's go over what we have at the start of the game. So we have 2 settlements, Porlissum and Campus Aizagis. Porlissum is actually pretty decent. It's a large town, 5,252 population, and it's almost ready to get up to the highest level of city as the Dacians, the minor city. So that's a pretty decent city. But then we have Campus Aizagis, and this is just a town with 2,800 population. Has the benefit of being ready to upgrade to a large town, at least. But that also means we have to spend 800 denarii to get to that large town, and that's a problem because we only have 3,000 denarii. And it doesn't get better from there. Right off the bat, we are projected to lose 487 denarii the first turn just when we click end turn. So we need to do something about our financial situation because we are just going to hemorrhage money, and we need to pay for upgrades, and we're not going to be able to. As far as starting armies, we have an army outside of Porlissum, kind of in the direction of the Thracians. We have an army in Porlissum and 1 in Campus Aizagis. We have 6 units of warband, 1 unit of Folksmen, 2 units of archer warband, 2 units of barbarian cavalry, and 3 generals. So kind of an interesting spread of units. Nothing incredibly strong as a front line. Like, we don't have hoplites, we don't have a lot of cavalry or, anything really good. But we have kind of a decent enough army that we should be able to make some conquests. So that is our one saving grace. And the other saving grace is we actually have really good generals. So first off, we have Skyles. This is the general over on the Thracian side. And this general has Genius, which is the best trait in the game. +3 influence, +3 command, +3 management. He has Bloody for +1 command, +1 morale. Lively for +1 management. Increase to movement points, and 5% discount on construction costs. He even starts with a good retinue, the Civilized Slaves. So this is an incredible general to start the game with. Our faction leader, Zyraxes, is not so good. Has a bard, which is good, is sharp, which is good, but sanguinary is horrible for commanding troops in battle. And while he has 5 stars of command, just that -1 morale off the bat is really bad. It's a real shame. So Zyraxes will be kind of limited in his use as a general, but the influence will help for keeping cities satisfied, so not the worst faction leader in the world. Up here in Campus Aizagis, our faction heir, on the other hand, is very good. Also has Bloody, has Sharp, has Natural Born Leader. These are all great. and also has armor. So this general starts with +2 morale, which is really good, and 5 stars of command, so overall very good, our factionaire. So very quickly, we kind of want to talk strategies here, because I definitely need to be careful about how I expand. We want to do this correctly. We don't want to mess up, because we're not going to get a second chance. If we make a mistake, lose an army, or go negative with our economy, we're never coming back. That's the thing with Dacia. You get one shot to do things correctly, because next turn you will be negative money. If you spend any money on upgrades, which you have to do, you will be negative next turn, so you better have chosen correctly. So here's my plan for this campaign. What we're going to do is take Thrace as quickly as possible. We want to take Thrace because there's a good amount of population there, knocks out one of the 2 Thracian settlements, and that leaves their weaker northern settlement, which is relatively easy to pick up once we've taken Thrace. And we just want to kind of consolidate this whole area here so that we can hold our northern front on the river, protecting us against the Scythians, and then just kind of push south and not be worried about being attacked on all sides. The obvious candidate for this task is Skyles. This is a great general we just talked about, and he has the best army that we start with. So he's going to camp out in some woods for now, because we first need to talk to the Thracians, try and get some money off of them with our diplomat before we march onto their land and try to take them out of the game. We'll also get our spy into their region just to have a look around, see what we can learn about them. Up at Campus Iazigis, we want to take all of our troops and begin marching down in this direction. And the reason for that is that over here we have Segesta and Segestica. I forget which is which. These 2 settlements are incredible. They have a ton of land trade and eventually sea trade. They have, because they have all this, I believe it's wine and gold. So they can get, both of them can build mines, as can actually most of my regions, which is really nice. Most of these cities can build mines, including, I believe, Thrace over here. So we will have a lot of income from mining. But later in the mid-game, these 2 settlements will be worth the majority of my income. So definitely want to secure those before the Romans do, on the off chance that I can avoid being at war with them by never having to take a city off of them. That would be ideal. So we're going to beeline over there with Vecina, our factionaire, and hopefully pick those up ASAP. So we will head over in this direction, and we're going to try and catch that army with our barbarian cavalry from Porlisum. I'm contemplating whether we take Xyraxes as well. I think we probably don't. And the reason for that is that Xyraxes is more of a liability in battles than anything. I'm going to leave him over here just in case we need to raise an army. If we get attacked by Scythians or anyone like that, we want to have one general around here that can buy some mercenaries and defend the homeland. I have a plan with these 2 warband units, and that is actually to get them across the border into Campus Iazigis and just disband them, because we're going to be losing 500 denarii a turn. I can't afford that, so I would love to get rid of the 400 upkeep per turn of these 2 warband units, and Campus Iazigis would benefit from growing a little bit. So, you know, kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get Campus Iazigis a little bit bigger, and save some money. I think that's a great idea. As far as how we want to spend our money on turn 1, I think this is pretty obvious. We need a Warlord's Hold in Campus Iazigis, and in Porlisum, we want to purchase mines. Mines will get us 200 denarii per turn once they're built, so they'll pay for themselves in 10 turns, which will fly by pretty quickly. And then after that, they'll just be fueling our economy. So we definitely want those as soon as we can get them in all of our settlements. And in Campus Iazigis, it'll be really nice once this is next level of city, because we can start getting some better upgrades. In Campus Iazigis, we need to probably bring down the tax rate. We're going to build a unit of barbarian peasants, and hopefully that is enough to not need to bring down the tax rate. Yeah, we can leave it at normal tax rate if we build a unit of peasants, and we can prevent that from rebelling. Alright, there's nothing else that we can do this turn. We've used all of our move points, we've used all of our money. So let's see how much money we have after this turn ends. Hint, hint, it's going to be negative. So let's see it. Negative 572. Yeah, ouch. Let's continue our march towards the Segestes, and we're going to continue trying to catch them with our cavalry. We see a quincum, but we don't really have any need for a quincum at this time. It's not that great of a settlement. We'll pick it up a little bit later. We can now take the 2 units of warband that we started with in Porlisum and disband them in Campus Iazigis. So our population there is now 3,106. That's great. And now that our public order is 110% because of the peasants we've trained here, we can actually bring up our tax rate to high, which will get us an extra about 127 income per turn. That's great. Next up, we want to bring our diplomat into Thracian territory, and we're going to send our spy north, because we're going to see anyways what these troops are just by having our diplomat speak to Hylas. But I am curious what's going on up here. So what have they got at Campus Getae? 3 units here, 2 units here. Really nothing good at all in Campus Getae, so that should be pretty easy to take once we take Hylas. Let's bring this army as close to the border as possible. I think you can hide in this little mini forest, but I'm not really sure. I don't think it matters whether you're hidden or not, as long as you don't cross over the border. I think we won't cause a transgression and mess with any diplomatic relations. End of turn report. Ooh, yeah, that's brutal. Minus 3,572 denarii from mostly construction and some recruitment. But yeah, horrible economy. Hopefully this gets fixed very quickly. This is why I'm playing so aggressively, because this can get out of control very quickly. We have a new family member. Athena has just been born. Congratulations. And there's nothing else we can do this turn. Let's go ahead and end it. We're going to keep marching Vecina south to this area. We've almost caught up with our cavalry. Not quite yet, but hopefully by next turn we will have caught up. Not so sure. Now, Dichomes, our diplomat, can finally speak to Thrace. So we want to first get trade rights off of them. Perfect. And then we're going to offer them map information in exchange for, let's try for 1,250 denarii. That's a lot to ask for. There we go. Okay, they countered with 970. That's a lot of money. That puts me in the positive. I'm happy with that. Let me see if I can get their map information for really dirt cheap. Honestly, I don't really need it because I'm about to attack them, but I will offer it to them for 100 denarii. No, they can't accept it. That's fine. Now, Skyles, can you reach Hylas this turn? I believe you might be able to. So let's get our diplomat out of the way. And let's get our 2 units of cavalry to besiege Hylas. And then, can we reunite our infantry with Skyles? Yes, we can. I don't know if this is going to be okay. I think we'll be fine. Hopefully we don't get attacked by all these armies at once. Can I maybe just have my diplomat stand here? I don't know if that will work at dissuading them from pulling all of their armies. But I can take Hylas next turn, so hopefully I manage to do that before I lose this army, because it's rather important. We are at war, of course, with Thrace. And Carthage is at war with the Greek cities, so I can guess where that's happening, on Sicily. Now we finished our mines in Porlisum. We can't really afford anything, but we can take a look now at what the available religions are as Dacia. So let's take a look at the 3 options. We have Hebelicis, which is going to give us Naked Fanatics, morale bonus to troops of 2, which is actually pretty awesome, and happiness bonus. The Sacred Circle of Bendis gives improved farms up to +3 and happiness bonus, and the Sacred Circle of Zalmoxis gives light weapons, heavy weapons, and armor +1 and 15% public order bonus. So that's decent. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling more that this might be the best option, just because morale bonus +2 is pretty incredible. That's a huge advantage. That means your troops will almost never break. But for now, we can't afford anything anyways, so we will probably just purchase nothing here. Now, one thing is that we can purchase Archer Warband, so at some point that will be really useful. Archer Warband is awesome to have in the early game. Just best missiles that you really start with as any faction, so Yeah, that's pretty awesome. We might be building some of those pretty soon. We have a General Duras who has come of age. I believe Duras is the son of Xyraxes. Isn't great, just has anger and no positive traits. Not sure if we want to do anything with this general, but maybe we'll send him off to sit in Tylus after we take that off the Thracians. We'll just send him south. Our end of return report looks a little bit better. Profit of 162. That's better than losing money. But yeah, I still don't feel great about our economy. We're gonna have to see how that turns out. There's nothing else we can do this turn, unless we could potentially build a wooden palisade. We could, but since I don't see anyone who could attack Campus Isages yet, it's pretty far north and there's just mountains up here. I think we're safe to not have any kind of a wall there for now. So the Macedonians want to talk to us. Let's get trade rights with them, and then let me see if I can get any money out of them. So I'm going to offer them map information, and I'm going to try to get 1,000 denarii out of them. I don't know if it'll work. Let me try maybe 1,100. Let's see what they say. They'll give us 760. I'll take it. That's not bad. That's a lot of money for me. Okay, over here, ooh, wow, we have, this is quite the battle. Skyles, with my 6 units, is being attacked by Sautes and his 6 units, including 82 heavy cavalry, and this is a pretty decent army with, let's see, any morale buffs? Yes, +1 morale from the comedian. Yikes, a little bit scary. And what else is here? Mostly Peltas, which is good, but the Falksmen will be pretty difficult. And then the army trapped at Tylus is just Bizas, a decent-ish general, and 1 unit of Peltas. So if we can win this, huge victory, but that is kind of an if, honestly. We'll just have to be smart in this battle. So this is great fortune. We have massive high ground advantage. At least we can take a high ground advantage. Hopefully they don't also drop on the high ground, but I think we'll be okay. Let's pull up our warband to right here, put our Falksmen here, and we'll get our Archer warband right up here. Archer warband are some of the best missile troops for having high ground. Something like Rhodian slingers, we experience this a lot as Spain don't have the ability to fire off of high areas because they have such a straight projectile path. But archers have the arch, so they can fire over the hill without harming their own troops, so that's good. Let's go ahead and get this battle started and see where they drop. Okay. They do draw up on the low ground, which is great. Let's get up here with our warband and our Falksmen, and then we will get our Archer warband here as quickly as possible. And we'll kind of just guard them with cavalry just in case someone charges up the hill at them. I would love to get some shots in with the Archer warband. Hopefully as much ammo as possible. But I think this should be fine. As long as they let me get some shots in, we'll have a pretty big advantage here. One thing we need to be aware of is that the reinforcements are coming from the high ground. So while there aren't many reinforcements, they will have that advantage on us when they do come. So, gotta be aware of that. Let's kind of, well, first off, let's get our archer in position. We will leave them on fire at will for now, but we'll turn off skirmish mode. And let's pull up our Falksmen nice and close to these archer warband in case we need to pull them back abruptly. Alright, let's see what kind of damage we're doing. So I believe they're firing at the militia cavalry first. They've lost, quite a lot of cavalry already. So this is a pretty great start. We want to do a lot of damage to the militia cavalry before they ever get any missiles off. Let's fire at the Falksmen because they have pretty bad armor and will do a lot of damage if they reach us. So we definitely want to get some shots into the Falksmen. Yeah, that's brutal. Gonna do a lot of damage. They're just walking slowly up the hill, so I would not advise this if I was Thrace, but you know, whatever floats their boat. So they look like they may be charging. Let's get ready with War Cry for all of my units in case we do get charged. And let's begin firing at the general, because we need to do some damage to that 82 strength general's bodyguard before this battle gets too messy. Now, we are being attacked by the general's bodyguard over here. We're going to use our Volksmen and cavalry to fight them off, and we'll bring our general over there for morale purposes. Let's keep our archer warband firing at the general bodyguard down here below the hill. Ooh, not good. We had a break of our barbarian cavalry. We're going to use our rally troops ability and hopefully fight this general's bodyguard off. Let's do some damage over here, maybe. Okay, so they ran away. Let's just fall back. We want to do as much damage as possible before the battle properly starts. And we've done a lot of damage to the general down here, so that's good. Let's charge these Volksmen and get our archers back. I believe we can break these Volksmen fairly easily because they're already wavering. Broken. Perfect. Okay. Let's round up as many of them as possible, and we'll resume our use of the archers as quickly as possible. Ooh, okay. Not good. So, the enemy general's bodyguard with strength of 46 is attacking my general. We really cannot afford to lose this general, so... Perfect. Okay. Killed the enemy king. That's good. Let's turn everyone's attention to fighting this general over here, and let's get our archers to safety if we can. We're going to use War Cry over here for the extra 10 attack, and let's fight these Volksmen off. We should be able to win that fairly easily. Oy, where's my general? Not in a good position at all. I kind of want to get my general out of here. Let's get our barbarian cavalry into the action now that they've reformed. We haven't lost our general yet, but it's not looking super good here. We want to make sure that we kill this general as quickly as possible, because if this battle ends, we don't want that general to survive. We'll charge down the hill at this general over here just because it's shaken and it's a pretty weak unit. I believe we can break that. And we did manage to kill the other general, so Thrace is seriously lacking in generals now after this battle. We broke their other general, and that should be the last we see of them. And let's charge these Peltas with our infantry. We'll send one unit of infantry down at the other Peltas, and our general will clean up the unit of Peltas over here. And what have we got over here? Militia cavalry. They will probably win against my barbarian cavalry if I charge into them, just because we only have 53 in this barbarian cavalry and they've already broken. So we gotta be careful with that. How are we doing over here? Doing well, just cleaning up this broken unit of Peltas. Yeah, now we need to make sure that we get as many kills as possible here. We've killed 78% of the enemy army. It's not quite enough. We need to kill more. So let's hunt down these Peltas with my barbarian cavalry, and we're going to stop firing with our archers just because they are killing our own cavalry. Stop firing. I don't think we can catch these militia cavalry over here. How much of the enemy army did we kill? 91%, and that is, I think, an average of the two armies. So hopefully at least one of the armies will disband. I killed both generals, so that will help with disbanding. I'm not sure if both armies hit that 85% threshold, though, so we'll just have to see. That's all we're going to get from this battle, so once we clean up these last few troops, we'll go ahead and end the battle. It definitely was a heroic victory. We killed 953 and only lost about 300 troops, so that was awesome. Majority of those kills actually came from Archer Warband and the General. That makes sense. But pretty decent effort from everyone. We managed to heal some of that Barbarian Cavalry that broke early on, so that's good. And with that, we do manage to take Tylus. Now, I actually have the opportunity to see, do we have a general Campus Izigis? I don't think we do. If we did, I would use enslaved population, and the population from Tylus would go into Campus Izigis, but instead it would go into Porlisum, which would actually be a bad thing. So we can either exterminate for some quick cash or occupy. I think occupy is the right way to go here. because the tax revenue from having Tylus be a large city will be really important. So we're going to see if we can calm down Tylus. This is not Tylus. There we go, Tylus. Okay, so they're somewhat appeased. We're going to build mines as soon as possible, and we can retrain these archer warband. We may just build a second unit of that. They were so useful in that last battle. I think it's worth doing. Now, Duras over here, we got to decide what happens with him. I'm thinking Duras will sit in Tylus. So we're going to send him over here, and then the army in Tylus, once we've been rested up and people in Tylus have calmed down a little bit, we'll send them up north and take Campus Getae off the Thracians. We're going to come back to these mines at the end of the turn, see if we can still afford them, but I think we are going to purchase mines in Tylus, just because that extra 200 income from mining each turn will be really worth it. Over here, we can finally reunite these two armies. Let's just go ahead and do it here. And then march over here, and Segestica is the first target. It's still a rebel city, so that's fantastic. And that should be a pretty easy battle. Let's take a look at our faction announcements. Skyly's got a famous warrior, a foreign hostage, and confident commander. Actually, Daikomi's got a foreign hostage. And let's see who that is. Interesting, that's the diplomat, got a foreign hostage. That's great. Skyly's is looking really good now. Management of 6, command of 6, influence of 3. Yeah, this is shaping up to be a very good general. And we got very lively for +2 management, +20% in movement points, 10% discount on trade construction costs. So these mines here that are usually 2,000 denarii are actually 1,800. So I'm going to go ahead and buy them while we have this general here, so I don't forget to queue them, because that's just such a great deal. End of turn report, we profited 3,500 denarii that turn. A lot of that did come from diplomacy and from taking Tylus, the little bit of income we got from that. So it's not an honest reflection, but our economy is doing much better. I would say it is under control, if not thriving. Up here in Porlisum, I think we're just going to need to knock down the tax rate a little bit here because they're pretty unhappy. We're almost at the next level of settlement, minor city. Probably 3 or 4 turns, we will hit that next level and can get an upgrade here, and then public order will be in check for the rest of the game. Something I'm going to try to avoid in this playthrough that I didn't do in the Spanish playthrough is building taverns, because that 5%, 10% public order bonus due to happiness is just not worth the really horrible traits you pick up, and especially the retinue you pick up. Celebrity going in, drunkenly, I forget exactly what the name of the traits are, but they totally ruin all of your generals, so I'm going to just avoid taverns as much as possible. I'm curious what happens next around Tylus, because these two armies are honestly pretty tough, and we don't have that much in Tylus here. So, I don't know, I'm a little bit concerned about a counterattack from the Thracians, but we'll just see what happens. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Hopefully they don't besiege me right now. Scythians are offering trade rights, we'll take that. And let's sell them map information for... We're going to go for 1,200. I'm worth a little bit more now that I know where Tylus is. And they accepted. I could have offered more probably, and they would have taken it. So, cool. I'm happy with that. Let's buy their map information for... I'm going to offer them 300 denarii, just because I would actually like to know what's happening up there. Yeah, worth a 300 denarii just to know who owns these settlements later in the game. We profited 265 denarii, even though we purchased mines in Tylus, so that's great. Macedon has just made an alliance with Thrace. So that's not great. Clearly that puts me at odds with Macedon, but since I'm probably within 10 turns of knocking Thrace out of the game, might not be a huge deal. Hopefully Macedon will kind of forget about being angry with me once I knock Thrace out of the game, but we'll see. Yikes, a little bit concerning. I'm not really ready to take on Macedon this early. Duras is going to continue marching over to Tylus. Next turn he'll hop in there, and it looks like they're preparing for a counterattack against Porlisum. Instead of trying to take Tylus back, kind of makes sense, they're just going straight for my capital. So let's go ahead and send my general and all of his army up north. We'll leave behind one unit of warband to defend Tylus, just so we don't get surprise attacked and lose the city. And then we'll build some archer warband here. Yeah, we want more archer warband because it's not unlikely that we're going to be attacked at Tylus, so we need to be able to defend it. Let's go up and... yeah, we can't quite attack this army. I would love to fight this army, even both of these armies, as soon as possible. I don't want them getting in around Port Lissum because that would be really hard to defend. Yeah, if we can fight them in the open field over here, that will definitely be a good thing for me. This general has, honestly, nothing too great. Same with this army. Yeah, they don't really have that many troops. I took out a lot of their troops over here, so they shouldn't be too hard to manage, but yeah, we'll see. Let's see if we can talk to the Macedonians. I'd like to get maybe map information off of them. I think I forgot to pick that up earlier, so we do want that as soon as possible. And let's go ahead and besiege Segestica. We're going to build a few rams. Yeah, we might somewhat starve them out. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, Illyrian mercenaries are pretty easy to kill with archers and cavalry, so this could be a relatively easy battle next turn. We'll see. So we are being attacked by the Thracians. I should have just stood on the river. What do we have here? Tennis. You bring... okay, Thracian mercenaries. They're okay. Can I take these armies? Honestly, this might be a loss. So we're going to withdraw and fight here against one army. That's much easier. Yeah, we can definitely take them now. With 2 units of archer warband, we will have a pretty big advantage if we can use those archers effectively. So let's go ahead and fight this battle. This should be fine. So this is a relatively flat, uninteresting battlefield. Let's draw up on the highest little bit of hill that we can right here. We'll draw up like so with our infantry units, and then we'll have our archer warband in front of them. And we're just going to do a similar format to what we did last time. We'll have our cavalry on the flanks, and I'll try to protect my archers a little bit better this time around. Last time I was a little bit sloppy, so we'll keep a little bit closer eye on them this time. Now, archers, I'm going to leave them here. They'll march into our range, and we'll get some shots in, and then we'll just reassess after that. I am concerned about these militia hoplites, definitely. We're just going to stay very much on the move. We don't want to fight these guys head on. We want to shoot them with arrows. So if we can make that happen, that is ideal. They should almost be in range of our archers now. Let's see. What do they have at the front here? Thracian mercenaries. How many shots are we going to be able to get in? Hopefully this does good damage. What are we shooting at? Oh, militia hoplites. That's actually a good thing to shoot. They don't have a lot of armor. And Thracian mercenaries, that's also good, so. Alright, let's pull back our archers after this next volley. Pull back. And we're going to use War Cry here. And then we're going to charge in. And we're going to charge into the general's bodyguard over here as well. If we can just kill this general early, that will cause huge morale issues for the rest of the battle. Perfect, we've got a break from the general. And if we could kill that general, that would be fantastic. Let's send the infantry over here to finish off the Volksmen, and I'm going to get my general out of here. I don't want to lose my general. Let's have our archers exclusively fire at the militia hoplites. And okay, we did manage to kill that general, so that's fantastic. Let's just keep running down all these fleeing troops, and then we will kill the hoplites with just archers. This should not be an issue at all. Nice, easy battle. Yeah, they're trying to flee, but they're getting shot in the back. Not good for them. We'll keep our general nearby to these militia hoplites because they tend to just kind of break when there are enemies nearby. If they do, then yes, perfect. We can run them down, get some more kills on them. Let's run these Volksmen down with my Barbarian Cavalry, and we'll run down the militia hoplites with my general. I'm sure we've killed over 85% of the enemy. Actually, we haven't quite yet, but we will in just a moment. But I want to get any experience I can get now, because, you know, it's free. May as well get it early in the game. General will finish up these militia hoplites. Let's run them down. Nice and easy. Perfect. And battle is over. Let's go ahead and end it. Oh, fantastic. We lost 36 troops. Happy with that. And killed 690. That's great. And killed the general as well. I don't think the general survived. Yeah, general died, so that's great. I have a new husband who's 16 years old and already a confident commander. No negative traits. I'll take him. That's great. Oh man, Tylus is not happy with me. Let's see, does this new general make it any better? No. We may have to send back some Volksmen to Tylus. Does that help? Okay, that's enough to make everything kosher. We're going to sit on this little river, and hopefully these Thracians attack me next turn, because I'll have a huge advantage fighting on the river. And let's go ahead and at least repair these archer warband. And we have enough money here that maybe we should build a shrine at Tylus. Let's do the shrine to Hebalesis. That's the one that does the morale bonus, right? Hebalesis, yeah. We're going to do that. That'll get some extra public order bonus due to happiness. And yeah, that'll work towards something very good a little bit later. Skyly's got good commander. And we profited 915 denarii. Fantastic. Let's look at Skyly's. Oh man, already this good at age 32 this early in the game? Incredible. The Romans have begun attacking the Greeks. And, you know, the other things that you expect. Spain and Carthage, Armenia, and the Seleucids. And in Tylus, we've completed our mines. Yeah, we knew that. That's fantastic. Let's go ahead and spy on Campus Getae. There's a general in Campus Getae and a general outside of Campus Getae. And once those two die, that would be the Thracians gone from the game. So that is one way to get them out of the game. Now, over here at Segestica, do we want to just try to attack? I think maybe the answer is yes. I want to keep these episodes a little bit shorter than we're used to with Spain, but I think I have time for at least this battle here. Let's fight them on the battle map. With the range advantage from having archers, we should be able to pick them apart very easily, and this shouldn't be too hard at all. So our warband will carry the ram, and we'll use our archers to do the killing. So let's march forward a little bit with our archers until we're in range of the Illyrian mercenaries. And we'll bring our ram up a little bit. Okay. We're going to fire at the Illyrians now. Hopefully we get some good hits into them as they run. Yeah, that's a good volley. And now they're turning their backs, so the next volley will do even more damage, hopefully. Ooh, brutal. Yeah, we are eating them up. And every volley before they fire any missiles is another, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 soldiers who are never going to fire a missile in this battle. So that's fantastic. Alright, we got some good damage in there. Let's go ahead and knock down the gates, and we'll get our archers a little bit closer. Just, if we can get any shots in, we will. I'll speed this up a little bit, as it's not too eventful. I'm guessing they won't come near the gates again, but you never know. And I was wrong. They are taking another swing at it. I'm sure they want to throw some javelins over at the ram, but yeah, they're taking a ton of damage, so I'm not sure what the plan is here.
The gate is broken. Your warriors have done brave work with the battering ram.
Let's get our warband inside the city. Bring our general up as well. 76 heavy cavalry is absolutely crazy with our faction leader here. Faction heir? I think this is our faction heir. Yeah. But yeah, we have the Illyrians coming up and they've broken already. We're just going to let our archers get some shots in. Yeah, nice and easy. And as long as we don't have any action from these Illyrians, let's go ahead and pull our archers into the city as well. We will drop, actually let's drop like this with our warband like so, and our archers right here. So if they get a shot, they'll have a clean shot and not shoot our warband. They don't quite have a shot, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and get our warlord in the city, get our cavalry in the city. And we can push up with our warband as well. Let's get our warband to right here. And then if the Illyrians try to push up, we will have a shot on them. So perfect. They're firing. Let's get our cavalry out of the way. This warband will use Warcry, and if we get in a slugging match, we'll have a pretty big advantage here. But yeah, we're just shredding these guys with archers, doing a lot of damage to them. Not too concerned about any missiles we might take. Alright, let's charge in because we're actually taking a lot of damage now, but with Warcry enabled, we'll do a ton of damage against these Illyrians. Let's get our general. Oh my goodness, we lost those units. That's crazy. Alright, use rally troops. Hopefully these units reform. We can do this battle without them, but I'd rather not. Yeah, they reformed. And Illyrians, I forget, they've got some serious stats. Let's check what their stats are. Melee attack 8, defense 9. Yeah, that's better than Warband, so I guess that's why they did well. We will push our archers up a little bit closer. They'll get some more shots in on these Illyrians. And they're facing away from us, so lots and lots of damage. Oh, brutal. Absolutely shredded that army. Wonder how many kills just these archers are going to have. And we've killed their general, so fantastic. We can go ahead and get our archer warband out of the city. We don't want to take any casualties since they're out of ammunition. What is left? I mean, really nothing. Let's just send in our warlord. We'll use rally troops at the last moment so that we don't lose the actual general himself. But yeah, this will be a nice, quick battle. Total slaughter. End the battle. Yep. Let's check the stats here. We got 351 kills with the archers. They gained 1 chevron of experience. We lost mostly warband, but we got some healed. That's okay. Segestica is ours. We will occupy Segestica because there's not that much population here. And we can go ahead and build mines here. The name of the game is definitely going to be keeping Segestica. We would love to pick up Segesta, but this is a very easy area to overextend in. You take both of these cities, you're going to lose one of them. So if we want to do this intelligently, we will retrain these warbands, regroup for a turn or two, and decide what to do next. We have a little more leftover money, and I'd like to spend it actually because in Campus Izigis, if we buy a land clearance, our farm goes up by about 70 denarii per turn, and it only costs 600 denarii. So that'll pay for itself in like 9 turns, and then, you know, that's cheddar. It's not that big of an investment. It's, I think, worth doing. Let's check in Poralism if it's the same thing. 408 to 476, yep, also worth it. So we're going to invest in both of those. That will also increase the growth rate of their populations. So these cities will grow even faster, which is wonderful. Let's go ahead and end the turn. See if the Thracians attack us on the river. They do, and we are outnumbered, but I think we can handle this. What are they bringing? Oh, really flimsy stuff. I mean, good stuff, but it's not going to do well crossing a river, getting shot by archer warband. So I think we can handle this with our incredible Skylies of Dacia. Let's do this. I'm really speedrunning how quickly I can get Skylies the Conqueror. I love getting Conqueror honorifics. So I think we might have that in our very near future. We're going to draw up our archers on either side so we can get nice shots into the river. And we'll bring up our barbarian cavalry right behind our warband and our general right behind them. I want everyone to be pretty much together because this is going to be a bit messy. We need to make sure we don't have a morale issue. So let's get our archers pulled as far forward as possible, just so they can get shots in really quickly. And we'll get our warband right up to the water with the cavalry right behind them and my general right behind them. So our archers are already firing. They're going to do a lot of damage firing across this river. And let's turn fire at will off and just fire into the general. That's who we really want to be targeting here. As they get closer, we will use War Cry in our warband, just so we have a little bonus attack. Let's set them to guard mode. Use War Cry now. And hopefully we've done enough damage here to cause some issues in that general's unit. Ow. How's our morale doing? Eager. Still eager. I'm just keeping a close watch on that because we don't want that to go poorly. The enemy general is actually wavering. If we can kill this general, this battle will be an easy victory. Yep, killed the enemy general. Okay. So don't charge across the river quite yet. We're going to keep firing with our archers. And hopefully this is a battle where they charge through us when they flee. Yeah, I think it is. So we're not going to charge in with our general quite yet. But we are going to charge in with our troops. And let's target the hoplites at the back with our archers. We want those to break as quickly as possible. Oh, are they breaking? Oh, they're all breaking. Alright, continue the battle. Let's just send our general through here. Get 1,000,000 kills. And let's stop firing with our archers. Don't fire, just run. Let's watch this. Oh, brutal. This is why you don't charge across rivers against archers. This is just brutal. Incredible. Delicious. Delicious Thracians. Wild. Alright. Come on. Run them down. Ouchies. And let's see what is left. Almost nothing. Once we kind of clear out this block on the actual river crossing, we'll just go ahead and end the battle. Yeah, pick up these peltasts. Why not, right? Let's go ahead and end the battle. We killed 1,000 of them and only lost 64. Yikes. We gained a chevron of experience for the Warlord and the Warband, so that's wonderful. This is why we camp on rivers. We are the river trolls. That's the Dacian motto. Alright, so we can try and speak to the Macedonians here. Let's see if we can get map information off of them. Offer them maybe 500 denarii. I really want their map information. Great. Yeah, this is important because I want to know what's going on with the Greeks. We can kind of see who owns what this way, so that's wonderful. And we'll go ahead and send our diplomat south to try and speak with the Greeks, just to get trade rights off of them. We don't have ports yet, but eventually we will, and it will be important that we can trade with the Greeks. In Tylis, we built our shrine to Hebelesis. And at the next level, we get morale bonus to troops trained here, so I just want to buy that right now, but I know that's not prudent, so I'm going to wait a second. I don't think there's any point to doing this port yet. No reason to do that. We'll just hold on to some money. We'll need it. We lost 2,200 denarii that turn because we spent a lot on building those land clearances in Porlisum and Campus Iazyges, so that's to be expected. Now, the question is, do we march north now or wait for another army to attack us on the river? I think we just march north now. What do we have in Campus Getai? Good amount here. We have 2 generals. But honestly, that's all they have here. I think we can handle them. Is there anyone in Porlisum we want to send over to reinforce? Honestly, Zyraxes, we're going to send him over because he's not great. But he does have a lot of heavy cavalry, and if we lost him, It wouldn't technically be the worst thing in the world, because he's kind of crazy. So that would free up the way for Skylies to become faction heir, and for over here, Vedzina to become the faction leader, which should be pretty good. And as promised, I want to keep these episodes a little bit shorter, under an hour ideally, so I can get them out more consistently, because every minute of recording takes 5 minutes to edit. So I'm going to keep them a little bit shorter for consistency's sake. I think this is a great place to end this first part. I'm going to try and get a part up every week, and I might do more than that on weeks where I'm, have a lot of free time. But gonna try to stick to 1 episode per week, definitely. So I'm super excited about this campaign. I'm also excited to keep going with the Spanish campaign, of course. I love that campaign. But specifically, this campaign is really refreshing, totally different. All the units that I can train are way different, and this part of the world is different. So yeah, very excited to embark on this campaign with really unique generals like Skylies and Xeraxes. But I hope you're enjoying this content. Hope you're excited for the rest of the Dacia series. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.